Liquid chromes that I can use with dip liquids, no gel. My mind was blown when I heard about this new product, so of course I had to try it immediately and share with you. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie, and these new liquid chromes are from 10 by Tina, and super excited to try them out. I think she had 8 total colors, and of course I couldn't make up my mind, so I picked up 6 of them. There are 2 different types of shades, so the darker ones are Dragon Wings, and then the lighter ones are Unicorn Tears. So I'm just going to quickly show you the colors I picked up, and then we will get into some chroming. I'm not going to go too in-depth into my dip process because I really want to get to the chrome, but I did want to show you I am using dip liquids. So I'm using the 10 by Tina dip liquids as well as Soul Dips dip powders. So the black I'll be using is Noche, which is just a really beautiful velvety solid black. That's 1 coat coverage, does not stain. So I'll end up doing 2 dips of that, capping that in clear, but I'm only going to show you 1. And then the glitter I'm using is Wink Wink, which is from her Valentine's Day collection last year and still one of my absolute favorites. So for liquid chromes, you can do it over any color, just like any chrome. You can do it over any color you want. I chose to do it over black because I liked the way that looked on a swatch stick. So depending on what color you chrome over, whether it's a lighter color or a darker color, it can change the look of your chrome. So you probably want to test it out to see what color you are going for before you chrome. This is just 1 dip of Noche. So I went ahead and did my second dip off camera. So now we're getting into Wink Wink, which, like I said, is from last year's Valentine's Day collection. But I absolutely love this. It's a beautiful lavender glitter, and it's got like little lavender hearts in it. It is just so pretty. So I'm gonna actually do 2 dips of this as well, but I'll only show you 1. But I'm gonna do my normal chunky glitter method, which you can see in my previous videos of the first layer I pour over, and the second layer I actually lay my finger flat in to pick up more of those chunky glitters. So I went ahead and finished everything up. I did my second dips. I capped and clear, activated, filed and buffed and shaped off camera. And now we are almost ready to get into our chrome. So we're gonna do the dip process from start to finish, meaning now I'm gonna go ahead and do my last layer of activator and do my dip top coat, because we are actually gonna chrome over the dip top coat. So the process is gonna be the same. So once your activator has dried for 2 minutes with your dip top coat, your first layer, you're going to go in with 2 to 3 quick swipes on each nail, wiping your brush off on a lint-free wipe. And then once you're done with all 5 nails, you will go in with your second layer of dip top coat, kind of taking your time, making sure you're capping your free edge. And then once that's dry, we will get into the chrome. I applied my second layer of dip top coat and now we are fully dry, which it took maybe 2 to 3 minutes, really quick. And if you're curious about my right hand, this is the Winter Mermaid Volume 2 collection from CN Designer Dips. But let's get into the chrome. So I decided to use Unicorn Tears number 4 because I love the way it looked over black. So I think it matches perfectly with Wink Wink. So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to gently apply that chrome onto my nail, and I'm trying to get an even layer, and this is my first time doing on my nail, so there's a little bit of trial and error. So I'm trying to get it as even as possible on my nail, which you can see it's not completely even. But once I get that chrome onto my nail, I'm going to let it dry down for like 10 to 15 seconds. And I watched 10 by Tina's YouTube video several times just to make sure I had the process down. So I'm following exactly what she said. So once it's dried down 10 to 15 seconds, I'm going to very, very, very lightly start rubbing in the chrome. You don't want to press down too hard because you could wipe off the chrome. So just with a light touch, I'm starting to rub my finger on top of that chrome. And you can tell it's kind of sticky. It's kind of starting to chrome a little bit. It's going to be trial and error to figure out how I need to do this. I feel like since this was my first finger, I probably went a little too heavy with my rubbing because I feel like I rubbed off the chrome. But the good thing about this is you can do multiple layers. So you can see you're not really seeing the chrome as much because when I did it on the swatch stick, it was this really pretty lavender color, which I didn't get. So you can see it's kind of chromy, kind of not. So I'm going to go in with a second layer and try again. So I'm just going to gently swipe that swab, I don't know what you call the applicator on my nail just to get that chrome on my nail. I'll let it dry down for 10 to 15 seconds and then I will go again, this time with a lighter touch, trying to rub in the chrome. And I will say where I did struggle with this was my cuticle area and my free edge on getting the chrome there. I had a harder time like getting into those crevices without rubbing off the chrome. It got better for my pinky and thumb because I'm only doing this on my nails with the black dip powder. But, you know, trial and error, first time doing it. I think I got it the way I wanted it, so I think it's fine. I'm just kind of calling out where I had difficulties, but it got easier the more I did it. So you can see here, now you can really see that pretty chromed color. And once you get to a point, you can kind of feel where you need to stop rubbing in or else you'll start rubbing off the chrome because it feels dry. Once it feels dry, stop rubbing it in. Just leave it. And then here I am, you know, I'm like, oh, it's still a little bare. Like I feel like you can see the black around my cuticle and sidewalls. So I'm trying to go in with a little bit of chrome in those areas to see if I can cover them up. And honestly, I feel like while you can go in with multiple layers, I wore these nails for a couple days and the most chipping I got was on my index finger, and that could be coincidence, but that happens to be the finger where I went in with multiple layers. Whereas for my pinky and my thumb, I didn't really get that much chipping. and I only did one layer. So I'm not sure whether that's a coincidence or not, but something to watch out for. If you do multiple layers of the chrome, you may get more chipping. I'm not really sure, but either way, it still turned out really pretty, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. And you can see I cannot help. I just keep messing with it, and I really shouldn't have. I really should have just left it. I'm going to leave a link to Tina's YouTube video down in my description box below in case you want to watch that, because obviously this is her product, so she can give the best advice on how to use this. I'm just showing you what I learned from watching her video probably 10 times. I'm going to walk you through one more finger just to make sure you got the process. So again, this is on my fully dried dip top coat. So 2 layers of dip top coat. Once it's fully dry, I'm taking the applicator of my liquid chrome and I'm applying that as evenly as possible onto my nail. And once I've got that down, I'm going to let it dry down for about 10 to 15 seconds. And then once it's starting to dry down with a very feather light touch, very, very lightly, or else you'll rub off the chrome, I'm going to start rubbing that chrome into my nail. And so I want to make it as even as possible. I'm going to keep rubbing, and you'll actually feel when it starts drying. And once it feels dry, stop rubbing, or else you will rub off that chrome. So it's really trying to find that sweet spot. And you can see here, I had an easier time with my cuticle area and my sidewalls. I did miss a little bit at my cuticle area, which I'll go in with, but it wasn't as bad as my index. I didn't have to go in with it too much. So I'm just going to gently apply that. And then once I've got the coverage I want, I'm just going to leave it. Less is better. The more you mess around with it, the more you're going to rub off the chrome. That's my lesson learned with this. Once I'm fully done with my chrome, I'm going to go ahead and apply my dip top coat, because you want something to protect your chrome so it doesn't rub off. But you can't apply activator on top of the chrome because that would rub it off. So this is a little tricky because typically your dip top coat, it needs that activator to dry. So this is going to air dry naturally. So it's going to take longer because it doesn't have the activator to help it dry. So I think around like 5 minutes it was pretty dry, but I waited 10 just in case because I didn't want to ruin the chrome that I worked so hard for. And it was actually faster than I thought it would be because typically if I forget activator and I try a dip top coat for other brands, it takes 15, 20 plus minutes to actually air dry. So I was pleasantly surprised that it only took about 5-10 minutes for this to dry. But obviously I didn't want to ruin it, so I waited 10 minutes just to be extra sure that it was fully dry. And as you can see, it made a giant mess on my skin as well, but we'll worry about that once we're dry. So 10 minutes later, I know I'm fully dry. I'm going to take a lint-free wipe and some isopropyl alcohol, and I am going to start cleaning up my fingers. It did take a little bit of work, but eventually I did get all the chrome off. You just have to do a little bit of scrubbing, but make sure you wait until everything is dry before you do this because you don't want to ruin your chrome. Now that I've got everything all cleaned up, as always, I'm going to finish off with my cuticle oil. So I'm using Scales of a Mermaid in the scent I Make Poor Decisions, which is a red wine scent. And I desperately need this because I was scrubbing at my cuticles and my skin to get off that excess chrome. So here's how we look. What do you think? I love this chrome. It was trial and error, but it was really easy to use and it is so, so pretty. I cannot believe I used liquid chrome on top of dip liquids, topped it with dip liquids, and it looks like this. I am really impressed with it. I will say I was a little concerned about dip top coat on top of the chrome because I thought in order to have a shiny top coat, I needed that activator, but I feel like the top coat's shiny even without the activator. So I'm just really pleased with the way this turned out. And I love the way that it paired with Wink Wink. And of course, if I would have used this Unicorn Tears number 4 chrome on a white or a lighter color, it would look completely different. But I love the way it turned purple over the black. So of course, that's the way I had to go because you know I love purple. So this liquid chrome was so easy to use, no gel. I would highly recommend it and I'll definitely be using it again. As I said before, I'll leave the link to Tina's video down below in the comments if you want to watch that. If you have any questions for me, or if there's anything else you want to see, of course, please let me know. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which greatly helps out my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.